Jeremiah 22:24 through 23:8. Devotional focus verse. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. Jeremiah 23:5. Throughout the history of mankind, power and corruption have often gone hand in hand. In 1788, James Madison wrote, "But what is government itself but the greatest of all reflections on human nature? If men were angels, no government would be necessary. If angels were to govern men, neither external nor internal controls on government would be necessary." Madison wrote these words in an article trying to convince people to adopt the then new United States Constitution and Bill of Rights. The Constitution was to have a series of checks and balances to prevent the national government or any person in it from becoming too powerful. Madison believed that unrestrained power could lead to corruption. In Jeremiah's time, the leaders of Judah were corrupt. In today's text, Jeremiah pronounced the judgment of God against King Jeconiah as well as the evil priests and prophets. They had let the power they were given corrupt their thoughts, believing that they could do whatever they pleased and still have God's help when they desired. These people had the instructions from Moses and the law, as well as good examples from previous leaders who had believed and trusted God, such as David, Hezekiah, and others. They also had inspiration and guidance from prophets such as Samuel, Amos, Joel, Isaiah, and finally Jeremiah. Tragically, they chose to ignore all those good examples and God-given instruction. As a result, the terrible judgments Jeremiah foretold came to pass, and King Jeconiah and the other ungodly leaders were exiled to Babylon when the Chaldeans captured and eventually destroyed Jerusalem. However, as shown in the focus verse, Jeremiah also revealed that someday a truly righteous king would come to gather his people and protect and provide for them. When he rules the earth, he will rise above any corruption in spite of his infinite power. This one will be a descendant of King David. His reign will be characterized by justice. He will gather the Jews from all countries and provide for and protect them. This gathering will be more remarkable than the Israelites being led from slavery in Egypt and brought into the Promised Land. Today, we have the privilege of living in the kingdom of this divine ruler. Although this prophecy of Jeremiah's has not been physically fulfilled in the world, there is a spiritual kingdom where Jesus reigns. By asking God to forgive us of our sins and truly turning away from them, we can be born again. Then He will protect and provide for us. He will reign over our hearts in righteousness. Background information. Concluding the ninth sermon, the final verses of chapter 22 are messages about Jehoiachin, and the first part of chapter 23 was addressed to the rulers of Judah. Chapter 24 also gives a messianic prophecy which extended hope for the future. Jehoiachin, also called Coniah and Jeconiah, became king after his father Jehoiakim. A king's signet ring, see verse 24, was his symbol of authority and was used to stamp official documents. God was saying that although Jehoiachin had been valuable to him, the king would be removed from reigning. After ruling only 3 months, Jehoiachin surrendered to the Chaldeans. He, his family, including his mother, and 10,000 others were exiled to Babylon, where he died. Verse 28 may be the cry of the Jewish people regarding Jehoiachin, but God said, "Write ye this man childless," see verse 30, meaning that none of his descendants would reign in Judah. Nebuchadnezzar made Zedekiah, Josiah's son, and Jehoiachin's uncle the king, but Jehoiachin outlived Zedekiah. Thus, upon Jehoiachin's death, there was no longer a king of the line of David. Jeremiah 23, 1-8 is another message to the rulers of Judah. The pastors, kings, political and religious leaders, and false prophets, had led the people away from God, and judgment was coming. However, Jeremiah also gave a prophecy of hope. A remnant of the Jewish people would be gathered again to their own land. This prophecy was first fulfilled when the exiles returned from Babylon after 70 years. The complete fulfillment of this passage will transpire during the millennium. The prophet said one day there would be another king in David's line, a righteous branch, which looked ahead to the time of Christ. The word branch could be translated sprout or shoot, such as comes from the root of a tree after it has been cut down. Jesus fulfilled this prophecy because his mother Mary was in the lineage of David through his son Nathan, rather than through Solomon as the kings were. Jesus' earthly father Joseph was in the lineage of Jehoiachin, tying him to the Davidic dynasty, but not contradicting Jeremiah's prophecy regarding Jehoiachin. When Jesus comes back to reign on the earth for 1,000 years, the prophecies of this passage will be fully realized. Conclusion. We want to be a part of the Lord's spiritual kingdom today and have Him as the King of our lives. He is the leader we can trust in completely.
As I live, saith the Lord, though Coniah the son of Jehoiakim king of Judah were the signet upon my right hand, yet would I pluck thee thence. And I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, and into the hand of them whose face thou fearest, even into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee into another country, where ye were not born, and there shall ye die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return. Is this man Coniah a despised broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? O earth, 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 hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days. For no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David, and ruling any more in Judah. Chapter 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people, Ye have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.